Joan and I bought a new car. That is a new used car. We bought a Jaguar.
Yeah.
We had been at this used car lot, and up in the corner on a higher pedestal about 10 feet off the ground, they had this Jaguar, beautiful black Jaguar, probably about, I don't remember, 5, 6, 7 years old maybe. And they had a ramp. They took it, and Joan thought, "Oh, that's a beautiful," which it was.
It was.
And they took it down a ramp. We took a spin in it, and it was pure luxury. It had soft leather seats.
Yeah.
Exterior was beautiful. The interior was beautiful. And it probably was a little on the expensive side for what we'd initially been looking for. But, Joan fell in love with it, and I loved it too. And so we bought the car. Had that Jaguar about a year. And it turned out that during that year, I probably spent more time in a loaner rental car than I did in the Jaguar. I got so much use out of the tow service, the AAA, that I used them so much that I felt guilty about it. I thought, it dumped me on the... Anyway, again, we'd go out on a Sunday drive, and when it was running, it ran good. It was beautiful. And I remember a few occasions where Joan would say, what's that funny noise? And you hear that squealing? And even then my hearing was, was far better than I have now, but it wasn't as good as Joan's. And there's no squealing noise. Nothing is squealing. Everything is fine. And sooner or later, yeah, that was a squealing noise. It had the gas tank was actually a dual gas tank. There was they had fillers on both sides. And the way it was supposed to operate is you'd use up the gas in the left tank, the port tank, and automatically the starboard tank would take over. And when I was coming, one night I was coming home from work, El Monte to West Covina, on a freeway, and suddenly the engine stopped running, and the left tank was empty, but the starboard tank was full. But the switching process failed, and I had to coast through the freeway traffic to the right-hand side of the road. We had at the house in West Covina, as I mentioned, L-shaped house, and up in this corner there's a carport, open side. So from our living room, you could look out and you could see the car on the carport. And the Jaguar would quite often, sometime in the middle of the night, the horn would go on, and then it would stop, and the headlights would come on, and then they'd go out, and this happened many, many times. This kind of thing. Drive along the road with the Jaguar, and you see another Jaguar coming towards you, conventionally you give a few beeps on the horn, you know, and that meant lots of luck. In addition to the kind of crazy things the Jaguar did that I've just described, it was prone to disaster of various other kinds. And on this occasion, we'd taken the cable car up the mountain, parked the car at the foot of the mountain. The cable car was kind of a scary thing, I think, especially for Joan, because, well, she had a height sensitivity, you know. But we get up there, and at the top of the top of the cable, there was I guess, sort of a resort hotel complex. Had a restaurant bar, fairly big. While we were up there, Joan stayed back at the restaurant bar, and we went out into the wilds, the wilderness, and it began to snow a little more heavily, and I think maybe we wandered around for half hour, 45 minutes, something like that. At one place there was a restroom set up, and you guys went in the ladies' room. You had, we used to call them ski suits. They were outfits, that heavy woolen outfits, and you guys came out, you were considerably fatter than when you went in. Turned out, I think it was Ellen had read or heard of a survival technique, and you guys had presumed, I think, emptied all the toilet rolls in this restroom and stuffed them inside your ski suit. And I remember, at this point, I'm saying, we got to get back to the hotel, because Joan's going to be worried to death about us. But we made it back to the bar restaurant safely. We go in there, and Joan's sitting at the bar, and I said, probably worried to death by the time we come in, and she'd had a couple of drinks. Hi, where have you guys been? But by this time, the snow was increasing and the wind was picking up. And I think it was on the PA, they were urging people here, we're going to have to get down in the valley,
Yeah.
And as it turned out, our cable car, we found out later on TV news that night, or maybe the next day, it was the last one down that particular day. The subsequent cars, people had been stranded up there overnight. But our car, somewhere in the middle of this long traverse, hung on. I mean, the cable stopped running, and it just sat there swinging,
Oh,
it was a scary experience.
very.
You're about a couple 100 feet above rocky crags, and but they got things running again, and we made it safely to the bottom, and we got to our car, and down there was no snow, but there had been a sandstorm. So the Jaguar the black Jaguar was gray because the sand had sandblasted it down to the metal. So again, that was one other little adventure with the Jaguar.